In today's video, I'm going to show you how to insert footage into an old TV using DaVinci Resolve 20 step by step. This is a really cool effect if you want to make your edit look like an old broadcast, a vintage monitor, a retro presentation, or even a cinematic flashback. And the best part is, you can do it with simple tools inside DaVinci Resolve without needing any complicated plugins. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more easy editing guides. Alright, let's jump right in. First, open your project in DaVinci Resolve 20 and go to the edit page. The very first thing you want to do is place your main video clip on video track 1. This is the footage that will appear inside the television. Then, bring in your TV frame PNG with transparency and place that on video track 2. The TV frame should sit above your footage so it acts like the overlay, while the clip underneath becomes the content inside the screen. Now select the clip on track 1, which is your footage layer, and open the inspector. This is where you'll make the basic fit adjustments. Use the zoom slider to scale the video until it sits properly inside the TV screen boundaries. After that, use the position X and position Y sliders to line it up exactly where you want it. The goal is to make sure the video appears centered and neatly contained inside the screen opening of the TV frame. Take your time with this part, because the framing makes a huge difference. If the image is too large, it will spill outside the screen. If it's too small, it won't look natural. So keep adjusting the zoom and position controls until the footage looks like it belongs inside the TV. Once the video is positioned correctly, it's time to add the old display look. Open the effects library and in the search bar, type Scanlines. When the effect appears, drag it onto the clip on track 1. This effect helps simulate the horizontal structure and texture you would see on an older display, which instantly makes the footage feel more vintage. After applying Scanlines, go back to the inspector and open the Effects tab. Here, you'll see the controls for the effect. Increase the line frequency slider gradually until you start seeing a dense grid of analog lines across the image. This is what gives the footage that classic CRT style pattern. Don't push it too far too fast. Adjust it carefully so the lines look intentional and realistic rather than overly harsh. Next, lower the line sharpness slider. This is important because real CRT screens usually have a softer glow and less digital harshness than modern displays. By decreasing the sharpness, you'll soften the scanlines and make the image feel more authentic, like it's being viewed through an old glass tube television instead of a clean modern monitor. Now, we'll add another layer of realism. Go back to the effects library, search for film damage, and drag it onto the clip as well. This effect can add vintage imperfections, but for this tutorial, we only want the parts that enhance the retro display without making the image look messy. Open the inspector again and find the film damage settings. In there, uncheck the scratches section and the dirt section. That way, your footage stays clean and doesn't get covered with distracting debris. We want the look of an old TV screen, not a damaged film reel. So removing those extra artifacts keeps the effect polished and more believable. Then, locate the Vignette section inside the film damage controls. This is where you can shape the edges of the image so it feels like it's being viewed through the curved inner frame of the TV. Adjust the size slider to control how far the darkening reaches, and use the softness slider to blend the corners smoothly. The idea here is to create dark, rounded corners that match the inner curve of the television screen. This subtle vignette helps the footage sit naturally inside the TV and adds that classic old-school broadcast feel. If the corners are too strong, ease them back a little. If they're too subtle, increase the vignette slightly until it looks balanced. At this point, your footage should look like it's playing inside an old television set, complete with scanlines, soft CRT texture, and realistic edge shading. You can always fine-tune the scale, position, scanline frequency, or vignette settings until the result matches the exact style you want. Small adjustments can make a huge difference here, so don't be afraid to experiment. And that's how you insert footage into an old TV in DaVinci Resolve 20. It's a simple workflow, but the final result can look incredibly professional when you combine the right overlay, scanline effect, and subtle CRT styling. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe for more DaVinci Resolve tutorials, and share it with someone who loves editing retro-style visuals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.